What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. And the reason I'm wearing this She-Hulk shirt is because today we are talking about The Incredible Hulk from 2008. I know we just did a 2003 Ang Lee's Hulk movie review recently. Go back and check that one out if you haven't. But 2008, The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton came out. And this movie to me was a banger from my childhood. I was 9. Hulk was one of my favorite characters. I loved the Ang Lee Hulk growing up. So by the time this one came out, I was all about it, you know. As a kid, I didn't know about CGI and all that crap, so seeing The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, and then the Hulk, I thought they got some things right, some things wrong, so we'll talk about it. The Hulk himself, being all muscly and the muscle fibers, like you could see so much of the muscles in this Hulk where you could see the fibers in his chest, like the muscles are just so big and exploding like a bodybuilder, like just the muscles are so tight that the skin is tight, and he's just so angry, his traps are ginormous, but the face overall doesn't really look like Edward Norton at all, and neither did the one with Eric Bana in 2003. It's not until even years later, like the first Hulk in the MCU in 2012, he's not even really Mark Ruffalo. He's much closer to Mark Ruffalo than the other two Hulks, but it's not until like Endgame by the time he's fully Mark Ruffalo and you see Professor Hulk and you're like, I know this is entirely CGI, but that's Mark Ruffalo's face, and the technology has just gotten so much better. But for this movie, they really toned down the greens. The green for the Ang Lee Hulk was very, very green, and they had the purple pants. This guy was just very angry, had the green eyes, but it was a lighter tone of green, and was definitely had no purple pants, just had regular pants that ripped, but the muscles, the muscles looked good, and the actual, angriness of the Hulk is what I truly liked about this movie, because we haven't really gotten an angry ass Hulk since this movie, right? We got Thor Ragnarok, we got Avengers 1 where we see the Hulk being angry, but this was a Hulk movie. Those aren't Hulk dedicated movies. Like, I need a Hulk solo film in the MCU. What I truly need is a World War Hulk movie. Show me all those years that he spent on Sakaar, beating people up, having a kid, show me Scar, not She-Hulk version, show me Scar, the badass version that we need and we all want. Like, that's what we need, we don't need this other crap. We need an angry Hulk back in the MCU, I'm not sure about you, but the Endgame Hulk, as much as it looks great and it's, Professor Hulk, and I understand what they're doing, they had an evolution of this character, he kept changing and changing and changing, and becoming more and more like Mark Ruffalo. But, my Hulk isn't smart. My Hulk is an angry, smashing fool, right? Like, he needs to Hulk smash, he needs to thunderclap, he needs to do all that shit. And that happens in this movie, The bad part is, the main villain is Tim Roth, Abomination, and they kind of butchered him. It looks nothing like the comic books. But in She-Hulk and in Shang-Chi, Abomination Tim Roth comes back and he gets a more updated look, a better look. We get more Tim Roth, which Tim Roth is one of my favorite actors of all time. And that a lot of people hate on She-Hulk, like a lot. And it's not perfect, but it was fun. It's a fun show, and it did a lot of great things, retconning, like bringing things back, like retconning Bruce's in Tim Roth's Abomination character's relationship from this movie, right? So Liv Tyler's coming back. Like, this movie has set up a lot, right? Like, William Hurt was, technically this is in the MCU. At the beginning of the movie, you see Stark Industries on screens. Post-credit screen has Tony Stark in it, right? So, like, this, if you go back and you look at this and you just imagine it's Ruffalo the whole time, it's a little weird. I tried to do it, but, at the end of the day, you're like, damn, I really wish we could do this again with Mark Ruffalo, but, obviously it's already been done. We don't need an Abomination Hulk versus each other movie. We already got that. But what I do need is my angry Hulk back. I did give this movie 3 out of 5 stars. I don't think it's that bad a movie, you know. It's definitely a movie I'll still rewatch. This, you know, the opening scenes of this movie where, like, you see, it, you know, we don't see the whole origin story. We just kind of shuffle along and we see it in the opening credits, what happened to Betty and what happened to Ross, and now Ross kicked him out and then he went on the run. Like, you know, not, you know, we're getting an origin for the Edward Norton Hulk, but it was also kind of like he's then in Brazil. So it almost was like a sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk, but not directly. And then it's almost a jumping off point for Mark Ruffalo, but it's not Mark Ruffalo, so it's not directly. But in Captain America Brave New World, all these characters are coming back. Tim Blake Nelson as Samuel Stearns is coming back. William Hurt would have been back, but his character Thaddeus Ross is going to be played by Harrison Ford now because William Hurt died last year. Rest in peace. You know, he's a legend as well. Definitely should pay him his respects. But hey, you know, like this movie, you know, I thought he was great in this movie. He's definitely a great Thaddeus Ross, considering Sam Elliott was the one before him. So the guys that have played Thaddeus Ross, Sam Elliott, William Hurt, Harrison Ford, 3 of my favorite actors right there. You know, like all those guys are legends and deserve their props. Like, they've done a lot for the industries. But you know, as far as this movie goes, I still enjoy it, and I think I will defend it till the end of time. You know, like. But I think I'll like this movie even more once they really retcon it to be Hulk and Betty Ross, Liv Tyler's coming back for, you know, so I'm super excited for that movie because I'm hoping that Bruce Banner Hulk will be in that movie and we'll get a lot more about him, even though it's a Captain America movie. You know, like this is supposed to be Sam Wilson's first movie, but I don't know, man. I hope there is crossovers that we need, you know, and apparently that movie's supposed to be about Tiamat and Eternals with the hand coming out of the ground, so like, that movie's just got a lot going on for it. But comment below, are you excited to see the Hulk be angry again? What did you think of this movie back in 2008, right after Iron Man? Were you like, oh man, I can't believe Edward Norton's gonna be Hulk? And then it's 4 swift years later, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, Edward Norton's not Hulk, it's Mark Ruffalo, you know, like... I remember people being mad about that initially because of the way that Edward Norton was really hands-on in trying to build this character and have like a very unique backstory for the Hulk, and also show that the Hulk is a monster story, right? Like he has this monster inside of him that he can't control all the time, right? So like there is a fear side of it, like the opening scenes of this movie where you don't see him right away, and he's a monster, and you know Tim Roth and the Spec Ops agents are all coming in on him trying to get him, and then he hulks out, and then he's like, and you just see like the shadow of him keep moving by. Like the opening reveal of the Hulk in this movie is great, and I still think it holds up pretty well. Where all of a sudden he leans out of the smoke and he's, you know, and you're like, oh, you're like, Hulk's about to kill some people, like. And like they throw the what is it, like a flashbang at him, and it like it's smoke everywhere, and you just hear like the Hulk, leave me alone, and you're like, oh man, the first times like we're really getting to hear the Hulk speak. Like we didn't really get to hear the Hulk speak again, other than like Hulk smash, you know, in Avengers we get puny good, you know, so we get like a line here and there, but like we don't see him actually speaking until Ragnarok, where he's Thor go, Hulk stay, you know, and that Hulk I loved, you know, the Gladiator Hulk, but he was dumb and he was funny, but he was also much like Ruffalo, you know, he wasn't just like CGI, like he was CGI but based on Ruffalo's face, so it was starting to get there and get better, but I really wished they stayed with that Gladiator Hulk a lot longer. But comment below, what is your favorite Hulk? Where do you see the Hulks going? Do we have a World War Hulk movie in our future? Comment these things down below. Send me your thoughts on Twitter, Threads, Instagram. All my links in the description below. Smash that like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you don't want to miss any future videos. And come on back and see my face again. We got more movie reviews coming up. We're going to be talking about X-Men Origins, Wolverine in the next video. I think I'm going to also group in X-Men First Class, because let's be real, Origins doesn't deserve a full video dedicated to itself. It would be like 30 seconds. But I'll see all of you in the next video. Peace, peace. Comment below who's your favorite Hulk. I'm interested, and tell me why it's Eric Bana. Alright, I'll see you guys later.